Some people love it, some people hate it, others are indifferent, and some people don't even know about it. What is it? It's
Chris gets curious. Chris gets curious. Chris gets curious. Chris gets curious.
bow, bow. All right, I flap my lips and I play some clips.
Scientists just got the FDA approval to test a treatment that would literally reverse aging in humans, and the first patients are being enrolled right now. This is obviously insane. This company called Life Biosciences just got the green light from the FDA to test the first ever cellular rejuvenation therapy on actual humans. And if you're like me, you obviously don't know what that means. They figured out how to use 3 specific genes to essentially factory reset your cells back to a younger state. This is not to slow down aging, it's not to treat symptoms, it's actually to reverse the aging process at a cellular level. Dude, this already worked in animals. They took old mice that had lost their vision and they restored it to levels of young mice. And by the way, that only took 4 weeks. In another study that they performed, they extended the lifespan by 109% over the control group, which is more than double. The first official human trials are targeting eye diseases, specifically glaucoma and optic nerve damage. Patients for this trial are enrolled right now, with the results expected by the end of this year. They're saying that this is not going to be available to the public for years, but the fact that we are testing this right now on humans is a line that we have never crossed. Dude, if this works, it changes everything that we know. So
When are they going to actually come out with the cream? You know, the nice cream. You just rub it on your skin, you know, you're fine. You're aging backwards. I got 1 fly. I don't know if you noticed that. Obviously, you do notice that. I think I might even have 2 flies in my house right now flying around. Don't pay attention to them. But reverse aging.
So this data center is powered by waves in the ocean. A new startup called Panthalassa just raised $140 million to bring AI computing to the open sea. Each node stands at 85 meters tall, almost the height of the Big Ben, with most of the structure hidden underwater. Inside a sealed container sits an AI server, cooled naturally by the seawater. And the bobbing motion of the waves forces water through an internal turbine, generating the electricity needed to power the AI chips. There's no engines, there's no hinges, and there's no gearboxes that could break down in harsh ocean conditions. And the vessels can even drive themselves to their destination, using the shape of their hull to propel through waves without a motor. And once deployed, they connect users through Starlink satellites. See, traditional data centers consume massive amounts of electricity and fresh water just to keep their servers cool, which is becoming a serious bottleneck as AI demand explodes. By moving offshore, this eliminates both problems at once, since the ocean provides unlimited cooling and waves provide unlimited power. As AI's hunger for power keeps growing, the open ocean might be Silicon Valley's next frontier. If you want to stay in the loop with the latest in AI and robotics, follow for more.
Isn't that one weird? That one's cool. I never saw that before, but you know it's going to be bad. All the stuff isn't great. I mean, it's probably, with the waves and stuff, it seems like a better way of doing it than plopping it right in the middle of the city or whatever, but with the data centers already. Get out of here with all these data centers. Stop putting the data centers everywhere. We don't need them everywhere. I don't want them everywhere.
Genetically mutated watermelon. Internal reports found 90% of U.S. melons are bred with colchicine, a gout pill the CDC calls a
dirty
biotoxin.
melons.
So dense, it peels like wet rubber.
They're soaking watermelon in the same poison as flea collars and calling it natural. Every seedless watermelon starts as a chemical clone, drenched in chlorophalanyl, the same mold killer sprayed on turf, then doused in oxamil, a nerve agent class pesticide fused into the skin. That's only the start. Those melons are flooded with systemic neonicotinoids, a bee killer banned in 27 nations, stockpiled for weeks and sold as fresh. 90% of U.S. watermelons scanned an EU-banned likely carcinogen. The unsprayed ones scanned clean. Comment exposure to scan safer foods.
Exposure! Once again, with all the dirty food, though, come on, there's so much of that crap.
Brazilian psychic Vova Bahiana is going viral after claiming that a UFO mothership will appear over a major sporting event in Miami on June 24 and take 700 people away. According to the prediction, the people taken could include both fans and players at the event. Bahiana claims this moment will become a major disclosure event where the world finally sees clear proof of aliens, UFOs, and interdimensional beings. The prediction has spread quickly online because it gives a clear date, a clear location, and a shocking number of people involved. Some viewers believe her because they say she has made accurate predictions before. Others think the claim is just another internet rumor made to get attention. This story has also gained more interest because people online have been talking about recent UAP sightings in Brazil. Some users believe these sightings make the prediction feel more possible, while skeptics say there is still no real evidence that anything will happen. For now, there is no official proof supporting the claim, but with June 24 getting closer, many people are watching to see whether this becomes a real mystery or just another viral prediction that fades away. What do you think?
What do I think? You're asking me what? Couple of them in there? There's an extra TikTok thing for you there. What do I think? I think it already happened.
Wait, what is that? Look up. Is that a drone? No, that's not a drone.
Get down! It's an alien! They're here! That was fun, though.
Here's how this common wild...
Oh my goodness, everybody! How forgetful I can be sometimes. Because you know what day it is. It's Weed Wednesday, baby. Let's get into it.
Wildflower can save your life. This flower is called yarrow. Yarrow has been used for centuries to stop bleeding, fight diseases, and increase circulation. It also has antibacterial and immune boosting properties. Now that first action it has, stopping bleeding, that's the most important here. That's the real life-saving power of it. And that's why I always keep yarrow powder with me in my haversack. Yarrow grows in all 50 states, and it grows throughout Europe as well. It has a rich history of use everywhere it is natively grown. This is my yarrow container. I replace the yarrow in here about once every 2 years, and I keep this on me so I can always practice with it. When something stops bleeding, that's called hemostatic. And there's modern day hemostatics that are much more efficient than yarrow, but I like to practice with yarrow because it's always available to me and I don't need to buy it. So knowing how to use it efficiently and effectively can be a life-saving skill in itself. Yarrow flowers always have these beautiful white or sometimes pink flower clusters here in the US. Throughout Europe, they're often other colors, but what we want for our medicine is the native white or pink variety. Yarrow has these squirrel tail shaped leaves. This is what you use for stopping bleeding. You can make a poultice out of the fresh leaves by rolling them up in your hands or pounding them with a rock or chewing on them. It's really bitter and astringent to chew on, so fair warning there. Once chewed or mashed up, you can apply it directly to a cut or a wound, or even to bug bites, because it's wonderful at stopping the pain and itching of a mosquito bite. Just apply it directly to the area. It'll slow down the bleeding. The antibacterial properties will help fight infection, and at least when I've used it, I feel like it's helped the wound heal a lot faster than it otherwise would have. If I took a fall off a cliff or something while hiking, I'd sure hope yarrow is nearby. For any broken bones or major injuries, as far as wild plants go, it's one of the most important to know to save you in those life or death situations.
You fall off a cliff and break your legs. Where's the yarrow? I need the yarrow. No, you wouldn't be doing that, but...
Here's 5 weeds you need to stop killing this year, because here's the big secret nobody tells you. They were never weeds in the first place.
Number 5 is Creeping Charlie. If you mow your yard and it smells like mint, that's not random. It's Creeping Charlie, and the reason why it smells like a mint
too,
because it is a mint. Creeping Charlie is great for digestive issues, and it's excellent for your lungs.
Mint family. The mint family has a square stem. It's one way of identifying it.
Number 4 is white clover. People try to get rid of this all the time, but it actually adds nitrogen to the soil. It's great for the pollinators, and medicinally, this is great for lymphatic cleansing, and it makes a great skin wash too. Number 3 is cinquefoil. Cinquefoil looks a lot like a wild strawberry, only it has 5 leaves instead of 3. Cinquefoil is great for digestive issues. It's also a pretty potent astringent, so it's good externally on wounds, and internally it can help with things like diarrhea. Number 2 is wild violet. That's that purple flower you keep walking past, but the leaves and flowers are not only edible, they're very nutritious. Wild violet also helps to clean out the lymphatic system, and this makes a wonderful face wash. Number 1 has to be dandelion. This is the one everybody's told to get rid of out of their yard, but it's the most useful plant in your yard. Not only is it great for your liver, your digestive system, and a ton of other things, it also brings a ton of other nutrients to your soil.
So some people just see weeds, but they're actually much more useful than your grass. Pretty neat, huh?
I gotta learn how to process those things, or actually how to use them. Like, yeah, they say they have all these properties all the time, and those are cool, because those are 5 very common plants, at least around my area in Wisconsin, but I'm pretty sure those are everywhere, a lot of those. Yeah, I don't know, how do you process them? Or do you use it in teas or tinctures, or make, you know, there's got to be different ways of doing it that are more effective than others for whatever you're trying to do. Oh.
This thing's destroying everything.
It can't even dance good.
Watch this.
And as you look, you see things that start to look like rocks, but when you really pay closer attention and use different lighting sources like a UV light, all of a sudden you see something that is entirely different. It looks like we've got space right here on Earth, alien life right here on Earth. We found insects that glow under UV light, and it's an entirely different way to see a beautiful landscape. And one of the things that a project like this is trying to get us to do is look at things through different perspectives. And really all it takes is something like a UV light to change the entire way that you see the world around you. Yeah. It's a pretty cool thing to be able to check out.
Yeah, we have a lot of fun. Woo! One of the cooler things that happens in the woods, and what's going on here is there are certain insects and fungi, like you see going up and down that tree. There are fungi all up and down that tree. They actually absorb UV light and then they re-emit it as visible light that we're able to see. So it's not like these insects just create their own light like this and glow in the dark. They actually absorb the UV light. So when you shine that UV light on them, they absorb that and then they re-emit it as visible light. So it just makes this scene, and you've probably seen like scorpions. They're kind of famous for kind of glowing blue and green at night, but they're not the only bugs or insects that do that. As you see in this video, there's a lot of them. And what's kind of wild is scientists actually use this a lot of the times in forests to take a count, like when they're trying to figure out how many of these certain insects are in an area or something like that. They'll use this to just make it very easy to count these animals or these insects or whatever it is and get a good like head count of these insects.
What a fun idea, though. If you got a black light, just go outside. I know I have one because I use it for lighting up my disc golf discs at night because they have glow-in-the-dark disc frisbee golf discs. But yeah, you already knew that. I don't know. But yeah, so go outside and explore.
Who are these Agarthan beings? Where are they from?
Well, we have a few different species. We have a native terrestrial reptoid species that we often refer to as the raptor species. They live down there. We have a indigenous native insectoid species, which we kind of think of as ant people. They live down there. We also have species, some who are not from here but live and work there, but also the ancient Lemurians, Atlanteans, when some of them went, underground, that's where some of the beginning of some of the Agarthan cities that we kind of think of as run by the Nordics, these sort of tall, blondie, blue-eyed folks who were originally Lemurian Atlanteans but went underground. So it's a mixture of native terrestrial species, mammalian, insectoid, reptoid, as well as other extraterrestrial species who have either been stationed here or in some cases have moved here to work here in some of those cities for the same reasons that people travel to other countries for jobs there as well, because they want to go to another place and do a job there instead of staying home where it's boring. So it's a number of species, most who are native terrestrial born species and a few extraterrestrial species.
Are there any buildings or domiciles there, or do they just live in the ships?
Oh, no. There are cities that are massive where the populations can be in the millions of personnel. And they have, in some cases, high-rise structures that are more built into the rock of the planet. So you might see a very tall stalagmite that's, kind of connects the floor to the ceiling that's, peppered with small apartments or buildings with windows and so forth in them that light up. It's pretty interesting to see, but some of them are very largely populated and have a lot of very advanced modern building structure that.
Oh, I love imagining that stuff, whether it's true or not. Agartha, what do you guys think about that? I watched another video that it wouldn't let me download that said it was something that Agartha was like not an actual place, but another dimension that's within this same time, space, something or another, that after a certain vibration or something, you get there. Don't ask me, even though I'm just the one who brought it up.
You also saw a Nordic alien?
I did, on Orcas Island. I was visiting a friend there, and I woke up the next morning after we were talking about a bunch of stuff, and he'd gone down to the store, which is quite a ways away from his property, to get some food. And so I'm like, oh, it's a beautiful day. I'm going to take a walk on his property. He had like 20 acres in the woods. So I start walking, and I come over this ridge, and there'd been no one out. And all of a sudden, there's this person who literally looks like a male model, like a Scandinavian male model with kind of longish blonde hair in a weird kind of more like European clothes, whatever. And they say, hello, Brent. Like they're about 20 feet, a little bit further down the hill. And I'm thinking, how's he know my name? Secondly, I did not see his mouth move. And I was like, hello. And he said, turn around and walk the other way. But he's not looking threatening. And I kind of was like, got it, on it. Turn and I walk away. And now I'm getting a little bit freaked out. I get a ways down and I look back and he's not there anymore. My friend comes back and I say, okay, I just had a really weird experience. He goes, oh, with one of those tall white people? I'm like, what do you know about them? And he goes, they have a compound on the Orcas Island and they come in a black helicopter unmarked to a facility that's all gated and there's about 8 of them. And they come here and they stay here for a couple days at a time, apparently when this energy is really high and they get recharged.
And they go wander out in the woods? I don't know. Weird, right? Interesting.
What if a huge number of these lighthouses were never just lighthouses at all? What if many of them were built or heavily modified with features that make almost no sense for guiding ships, but makes perfect sense for something else? Something that could approach from any direction. Something that could hover in place. Something that didn't need a runway or a harbor. I'm talking, of course, about airships. And here's what really gets me. When you actually start to look at the construction details of a lot of these lighthouses, the reinforced platforms on top, the heavy overbuilt staircases that go all the way to the roof, the strange railings and anchor points, the location on high ground with clear approaches, a lot of it stops making sense for just maritime navigation and starts to look an awful lot like infrastructure designed to dock giant airships. Tonight, we're going to dig deep into this. We're going to look at who actually built America's lighthouses, when they were built, and why so many of them have structural features that seem completely unnecessary for guiding boats. Because once you start seeing the pattern, you can't unsee it.
They are pretty interesting, right? And they are pretty, like, permanent seeming. You know, they're very strong. And you think that if you just needed a light or something, you could do something lighter than that and just have a ladder that goes up there, right? I don't know. I guess I don't know. They also said they had liquid mercury lamps that would spin in there too, or that they would sit in like some pool of liquid mercury and that would help them rotate or something like that. And maybe they're, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with these things. There's a lot of cool, interesting theories about lighthouses, but it is kind of weird. It's very weird.
Are we standing in an old-world Tartarian building? This is the postal palace of Mexico City. But do we really believe this place was just built to be a post office? Here's the view from the outside. Don't build post offices like this anymore, do they? And there you see the main entrance. There's some interesting sculptures to be found as well. They say it was built in 1907. I reckon this place is a lot older than we're told.
Not built in 1907 and definitely not originally a post office. What are they? There's too many buildings like this all over, even in Wisconsin. Milwaukee has some really cool ones that are gone now that were some post office buildings that look like castles and all these different things. It's crazy. The stuff doesn't make sense. There's like some crazy beautiful one. I think it's in New York or was in New York that they tore down that was just massive and it looks nothing like what it would be good for the use of a post office. Like, It's stupid. Where's the doors for people to go in and out and take their little horse buggies or whatever they claim to have had at the time to deliver the mail and stuff? It doesn't make sense. It really just makes... We don't build like we used to. Nice and shiny. I don't know if I'd like to be in there for too long. Or maybe it would be super healing. And you just sit in there and it would shine and it would vibrate you. And all of a sudden you're just... Bah! You're healed. You're all good. So the reason why I play this is because I like to play a lot of clips about old world buildings and crazy old structures and different stuff, and these idea of Tartaria and the idea that churches may have been used for something completely different than churches. This is the kind of stuff that makes me believe that, because this is supposed to be painting the picture, you know, of what was maybe happening. You know, they got the robes and stuff, you know, this is supposed to be some ceremonial thing, like maybe this is what they would have done or something, right? And it seems, when you look at it from people tugging on a rope, pulling from a little smoky ball, and it's surrounded by this Gothic cathedral, there's like just some sort of mismatch, right? Like, I understand that you could do that in there, like, don't get me wrong, but there's like a mismatch in technology and people. Like, it looks like someone who, once again, came here and then just started worshiping these places and as something greater because they didn't even know or something, or I don't even know, but it seems goofy though, does it not? Like, I'm not making fun of religion, I'm making a point about the idea that we're swinging this smoky ball in this thing, in this building that we can't build today. And it's like, you know what I'm saying? Something off about that. It says inspirational quotes from a lighthouse. Let's hear what he has to say. It's refreshing to hear. It really is refreshing to hear. But something to think about. Something to really keep in mind. You know, you spend a lot of time on a lighthouse, you got a lot of time to think. But that's all the videos I got for you today. I hope you liked this video. And if you did, hit that like and subscribe button. And if you want to support this channel, because I don't want to play mid-roll ads and make you buy all these things, you can support me by downloading my music in the description. You might like it, you might not like it. And then I'm going to put some more songs on there in a little while too. So other than that, have a beautiful day, and I'll catch you on the next one.